So what's the difference between a journal and a diary? This is a question that I receive often from you, and it's confusing because there is a lot of overlap between the two. So in this video, I'm going to explain in detail what they indeed have in common and how they are different. And we're going to analyze the history, the etymology, the content, and the formats. So let's do this. The short answer is that a diary is a journal, but not all journals are a diary. Diary writing is a type of journal writing. A diary is a notebook where you can write down your thoughts, feelings, and experiences. It's like a personal record of your life. When it comes to format, a diary, like a journal, can be not only written in a notebook, but it can also be visual through photography, video, doodling, and it can also be in an audio format by using a smartphone or a recording device. And nowadays, social media has become our public diaries. Has it happened to you to go through your Instagram photos or the archive of your stories just to indulge a bit in nostalgia, wondering what were you doing back then? The most common format of diary writing is still on paper. In fact, diary writing is a form of written expression that has been here for millennia. The earliest known book resembling diary writing was the Diary of a Mirror, found in ancient Egypt about 4,500 years ago, and it was written on a papyrus. The modern diary has its origins in 15th century Italy, where diaries were used for keeping a daily record of events, namely for accounting and other public records. Even today in the streets of Rome, you can find little shops with vintage leather journals because it is part of their history. And this is when the word diary emerges. It comes from the Latin diarium, which means daily. And gradually, diary writing went from being a method to record public life to actually being a method to record the private life of an individual. The earliest book resembling a diary was written in England by Samuel Pepys. He recorded many events, including the Great Fire of 1666. Another format associated with diary writing is travel diaries. World travelers record their discoveries in journals, including Charles Darwin, Lewis and Clark, and so on. Diary writing is also associated with war diaries. For example, the most famous diary written of all times is the Diary of a Young Girl, written by Anne Frank, a German-born Jewish girl who kept a diary in which she documented life in hiding under Nazi persecution in the Netherlands. And lastly, diary writing is also associated with writers, creatives, and artists because diary writing was and is an integral part of the creative process, say Frida Kahlo, Franz Kafka, Tolstoy, and many others. So recapping, diary writing often comes from the desire and need to record one's life, whether that is thoughts, experiences, and feelings for prosperity. When it comes to format, diary writing is often written on a blank page and it's dated, which means that the diary becomes a chronologically organized timeline of your life. If you want more tips on how to write a diary about your life, watch my video on that. And now, what is a journal after all? If you look at the etymology, it is super confusing because the word journal comes from the old French journal, jour, which also means day, like diary. But here's the thing. While diary writing is intimately connected to our need to record life, journal writing is intimately connected with our need to grow. It is connected with personal development. And nowadays there are many types of journals. For example, people keep journals to write stream of consciousness, also known as morning pages. This is a technique that it's about writing everything that comes to your mind in order for you to declutter your mental space and for you to get to know the different parts of yourself. Journal writing today is also connected with gratitude journaling. This is a technique that we use to shift our mind from focusing on the negative to the positive that we already have in life. Another types of journal writing includes a manifestation journal, meaning a journal where you keep all of your visions and how to achieve them. It can also be a dream journal where you record your dreams and all of your subconscious inner life. So you see how nowadays journaling has so much to do with mental health, with personal development, and going back to history, it all started in the 60s and the 70s. There was an American psychologist called Dr. Ira Prokop, who created the intensive journal method, and he was offering journaling workshops in New York back in the 60s. In 78, he publishes a book called At a Journal Workshop. I actually have it right here. Let me show you. Okay, so here is the book that Dr. Ira Prokop wrote at the time. You can find it on Amazon. I highly recommend it if you want to go deeper into journaling for mental health. And there was also Kathleen Adams, who in 92 published a second book about journaling, which I also have it here. Let me get it for you. This is a Journal to the Self. It's also a great book on journaling for personal growth and self-understanding. So you see that journaling being connected with personal development is still very recent, and there are now numerous studies that shows the benefits of journaling, and I firmly believe that we're just starting, that journaling will be one of those practices like yoga and meditation, that you can have journaling classes all over the world, and will also understand the different techniques and how you can make this practice work for you. So I hope that this video was helpful for you, that now you understand that diary writing is journal writing, but not all journals are diaries. If you want to learn more about journaling, subscribe to my channel. I also have a video with music for journaling. I believe that you may like that as well. And I will see you next week.